Well, how I've changed as a person after moving to Japan. As you know, I'm from England and I moved to Japan 4 years ago now. Oh god, it's been really quickly. Japan definitely will change you as a person with so much cultural differences, language, the way people behave here compared to England. So let's get started, shall we? Firstly, I want to talk about Kuuki or yomu. I'm able to read the air now. Oh wow, congrats to me. But jokes aside, you know, Kuuki or yomu in Japan, it's very important. If you don't know how to read the Kuuki, that means you are K1, you can't read it and people are going to not like you. So what I mean by reading the lines is like, you know what to do at the right time. If you send something, people don't say it. It's like a high context culture. So things are not said directly, rather it's more culturally, like that's more context. They're able to read the air, like the atmosphere, for example, like if it's time to leave, if they're not saying, oh, would you like more tea, and like, but that means like it's time to leave. I'll just take my leave. I'm just gonna go. Like when people say something, they don't actually mean it. And reading between the lines matters. I realise after learning speaking Japanese, I'm N2 actually, JLPT N2. So when I speak Japanese, I realise my mind and thinking, even words, it just sounds so different to when I speak English. Some people tell me that I sound completely different. It's the same tone though, of course, it's my same voice. But when you speak another language, sometimes your personality changes as well, and some people tell me that I am more polite maybe in Japanese. I'm not as like sarcastic in Japanese, let's say. As you know, Japanese, it's a complex language. When you say one thing, if you say it a bit differently, it can have a lot of different meanings, so I have to be extra polite when I speak and think twice. I'm not just gonna blurb out like, oh my washing day, you do that. Like, people are gonna get so pissed off, so don't do that. I definitely became more open-minded. There's so many things in Japan like that I still am learning after living in Japan for 4 years. There's still like shocking things out there, like new products, new things, cultures. It's like, it's up to your imagination. They have so many things in Japan and I'm always learning new things. Even though I've been here, I study language, I study the culture, there's always new things to learn, so I became more adaptable and open-minded. And I feel like I also became more considerate of other people's feelings. Instead of like always like me prioritizing myself, I became more considerate of other people in the group. For example, when we are having pizza in the UK, my friends would just steal and bite my pizza and stuff and share my bottle of water. In Japan, they don't do that. And because I'm a foreigner, they often offer it to me. Yay! I'm a lucky one. Is this a gaijin card? I don't know, but they see us as a guest. So that's why sometimes we get special treatments. And I also want to add, if you're an introvert, you prefer Japan compared to America because no more small talks here. You don't need small talks. And people here like to keep their life private. And I also like to keep my life private. I mean, what I'm sharing online is different, it's like my experience. But like, personal aspect, I don't want to show my whole life on screen, like, oh, this and that. Like, we have our own boundaries and Japanese people definitely respect that. So if you schedule like a date with someone, sometimes you have to book 1 month prior because everyone's going to be checking their calendar. There's no like, oh yeah, spontaneously, let's go out now, let's go drinking. Often people make plans and you have to respect people's boundaries. I feel like I changed as a whole in Japan. I became more considerate overall, became more mindful of other people, and I also appreciate the UK even more. Like when I go back to the UK, I feel like there's a sense of freedom because in the UK, I feel like people are not gonna be as judgy in a way. Okay, in the other aspect, I don't have to present myself to look good, but in Japan there's a certain image that you have to maintain. Like for example, I'm a teacher, so I have to dress well, not wear revealing clothing, and like keep a professional, you know, face and persona. And also when we go out, you don't want to be like, ugh. In the UK I don't wear makeup, I just go out, and I don't really care what people think about me in the UK, but in Japan, like, I feel safe. One, I feel safe to be more feminine here, and two, I'm just more mindful. People are just more like into like body care, like skincare, like fashion, and I don't want to, you know, look bad compared to that. So in the UK, everyone just wear jeans, so like I don't want to stand out in the opposite way. So yeah, I love Japan still, and I think it's different ways of living, and the vibe is also different. But it depends on what you are seeking in your life. I'm not saying one is superior than the other. Moreover, you know, in Japan, because it's more about the group, then people might think it's a bad thing because individualism, you know, we don't like collectivism. But sometimes, because I worked at a school and I was a teacher, and the sense of community, the group, like you can say it's a bad thing or a good thing, but I really feel like a sense of belonging, that we are a team, like teamwork, that I'm being assigned to do this responsibility and like my duty to do that. And the team spirit is so strong here compared to the UK. I feel like people just don't really care about, like, let's say, they just want to finish a job and go home. But here, they treat it with such high level of dedication, respect. I'm telling you, they put 120% into their jobs, and they do the extra mile, and that makes me feel like, oh, I work hard and I play hard, but compared to my co-workers, maybe I'm seen as the lazy one. But that also pushes me that I should try harder. So I became more, you know, aware socially, hardworking as well, and really enjoying the team spirit. I've changed in Japan, definitely became a much more open-minded person. I've grown, I've became more, you know, understand myself more by spending more time with myself. And it's not lonely. I would say learning to enjoy your company, it's a blessing. So hope you enjoy this video, and maybe one day if you come to Japan, I hope you enjoy your trip here. And yes, let's be respectful and enjoy Japan and be the good ones, the good foreigners, okay? Thank you, and take care. Subscribe for more Draco EXP.